Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a quick video of the challenge to take pictures of wildlife in the Savage Divide. So I'm not going to go and show you where all these pictures are. I think most of you should know, but I will talk about it a little bit. I'll try to keep this video fairly short. But basically what I did is I will try and show you where I took a whole bunch of pictures. And then you can go and hunt them. Now there are more than 10 animals that you can take pictures of, so you do have some options here. I'll point out some of these, if I remember, where you can get these guys. The cave crick is a little bit difficult to get, but it is possible to get. That's generally outside the uncanny cavern, so I wouldn't actually bother with that one. That one's a little bit harder to get, but if you happen to be at uncanny caverns and you see a cave cricket, by all means take a Deathclaw. Now, Deathclaw is pretty easy to get. I'll show you where to get that. A glowing creature is fairly easy to get. Again, I'll try and point that out to you. Mole miner, pretty easy to get. Mole rats, red ants. Generally, I would skip that one. Although there's probably an area, I probably couldn't tell you where to get that in Savage Divide. Red roach, Radscorpions, Snallygaster, and squirrel and stingwing, blood tick, and wendigo. So I'll come back to this in a second, and we'll touch base on each one of these quickly. The ones at least I took, and I'll show you where to get those. Now you may be able to get these by doing other challenges at the same time. So as you're going through these, it may be too late to actually do this for this week. But when this comes up again, as you're going through the challenges for the week, then obviously look out for these animals. But I'm going to take the last picture here, which we are at of a squirrel. We're at White Springs. This is a good area, kind of just sort of the east side of White Springs, across the road from the railway tracks. And generally you will find squirrels and rabbits in this area. So we're kind of just outside the service entrance, which is just over there in that direction. And we have a squirrel right here. So let's see if we can go ahead and take a picture. Now sometimes you won't be able to, the picture doesn't actually go off, so you might need to actually take a picture of different angles of the squirrel. It's just a bug with the game. Just make sure that it actually hasn't gone off. I'm pretty sure it hasn't, but actually we haven't got a picture of a squirrel. Yeah, so let's start taking. So sometimes you just have to keep taking pictures. It's kind of a pain. Surprised the squirrel's been so accommodating. Maybe I'll have to find another server. So normally it goes off in about 3 or 4 shots. Well, we're definitely in Savage Divide, so I don't know why that is going off. See, I don't know how many that was, but that was probably like 10 photos. Unbelievable. But sometimes that does happen, right? You try and take a picture, you don't know why it's not working. Just kind of walk around whatever object you're trying to take a picture, keep on taking pictures, different angles, and eventually it will actually take off. That's just a little tip and trick there. It generally doesn't take this long. Normally it goes off, like I said, in like 3 or 4 shots. Sometimes I guess it does take, you know, up to like 10 pictures or something. Anyway, so that's actually marked that one done. So let's actually go and talk about some of the creatures that I've taken pictures for. So Savage Divide, as you know, actually extends all the way down here. So you should be able to get the cave crickets if you did Uncanny Caverns. Kind of comes down this area, all the way up, kind of this area. So that's all the Savage Divide. So why don't we start at the top here? So Snellygasters. If you want to get a Snellygaster, there is one, or there's actually 3 at this location right here, which I forget the name. Let me see if I got another character yet. It's a quest line that we did recently. Unfortunately, I don't have it on that one either. But anyway, it's the one where you do the quest to get the Wendigo head, or one of the heads. But anyway, it's this location. Yeah, it's the meat house. Someone will be able to point that out to me, but I forget the name. So that's where you get the Snellygaster. Is right up there. The Wendigo. For those, there's a couple places you can probably get the Wendigo. Definitely the Wendigo cave, which is a little tedious to get in and out, but you can get it there. The Wendigo also spawns at the clubhouse at White Springs, so that's definitely a location. I've also seen the Wendigo spawn in the mountains up here, a little bit harder to kind of hit consistently. Obviously, the Wendigo itself, the cave itself, should be a Wendigo, but a lot of times the Wendigo is not even there. Just a tip: if you do arrive in the cave and there's no Wendigo, throw a couple of hand grenades around. It doesn't work too often, but definitely my last time I was in there and the Wendigo will suddenly appear in the cave after you throw grenades around. But you could try that. Otherwise, you may need to server hop there, right? Radscorpions is at the Middle Mountain Caverns, so you can get a Radscorpion right over here. They do spawn there. They also spawn down here at the Freak Show, so you can look over there. The Jaguar Bears spawn at the Middle Mountain Caverns as well. You can also get Jaguar Bears down on this road just below the Mountain Bed and Breakfast. That's another location for them. I would just go to the Mountain Middle Caverns. That's probably the best place to get the Jaguar Bears over there. Rad Roaches. This is a good location for Rad Roaches. There's typically one. There's like a little shed at the back here, kind of where this little cavern is actually. There's typically one in there, but the best place to get Rad Roaches is right in this cavern. Yeah, there's generally 3 or 4 in that cavern that you can actually get. Now, typically one of these creatures, whether it be the Jaguar Bears, the Radscorpions, or the Rad Roaches, or the Honey Beasts, which spawn at this location, will be a glowing creature. So you can actually get 2 of those or 3 of those in the same location quite easily. In terms of, if I didn't go for the wolves this time, but typically you can find wolves at the Investor's Cavern, and there's a little greenhouse, or not a greenhouse, but a sort of a, it's kind of like a pit stop, or kind of a camp area, if you will. Not really a camp area, but it has a green roof on it. It's also wolves will spawn there, but typically if the wolves spawn at the Investor Cavern, you'll find them here, or vice versa. Or if you are sort of server hopping, there is typically a sloth that will spawn, and the wolves typically will attack the sloth. So you can actually find wolves there, but I didn't go there. They're a little bit harder to get them to actually spawn properly, right? Okay, so let's look at some of the other animals quickly. Like I said, squirrel at White Spring, it's a good location. Glowing creature, like I said, Mountain Middle Caverns. Mold Miner, again at White Springs, if you're in this location. Mole mine, of course, you'll find them at this location, Mountain, Bedside, and Breakfast, and of course you will find them at the Blackwater mine consistently without any problems. Mole rat, I just got that one in the Wendigo cave. There's one that spawns there, but of course there's actually 3 that spawn outside the Blackwater mine location. I'll try and remember to show that in a second. Red Roach, Mountain Middle Caverns, Radscorpion, Mountain Middle Caverns, Snallygas that was up at that meat place. I wish I could remember the name. And the squirrel is at White Springs. I'll show you the stingwing in a second. Mentioned the wolf. Blood ticks as well, just across the way from Mountain Middle Caverns as well. So they kind of spawn. I'm just trying to think if there's another area that they spawn, but Jaguar Bear, Mountain Middle Caverns, Wolf I mentioned, Wendigo Cave, and across from the Mountain Middle Caverns. So just across over, yeah, just if you walk at this location, which I'm trying to see the road that walks up there. There's kind of a crossing in the road. Yeah, I think it's probably over there. Whatever that crossing that leads into the Mountain Middle Caverns, you kind of, I guess it's this road. You kind of walk up this road. This picture's kind of off in terms of what the caverns look like, but if you walk up this road, typically you'll see kind of a cavern on the right here, and then this cavern is sort of on the left here, even though this picture's kind of not quite correct. But kind of if you walk along this road, past the Mountain Middle Cavern, just slightly in the middle on the left here in the forest, you'll find ticks that will spawn kind of on the left consistently. So there's a whole bunch of ticks, or 3 ticks that will spawn there, so you can actually take a picture of the ticks right over there. And then right here by the Blackwater mine, again up this road, you'll see a truck trailer kind of just in the middle of the road. You guys should be all familiar with this. If you've been in the area, there'll be 3 mole rats that will spawn right over here. And then the stingwing, if you want to get the stingwing, which I'm not quite sure it'll be considered Savage Divide, but the only place I know a stingwing spawns consistently is at the Bleeding Kate's Grindhouse. Now, I'm pretty sure the Savage Divide's border is kind of over here. So I'm thinking it might not go off. But that's the only other place I know where stingwings consistently spawn. Just trying to think if there's another area. There's probably another area that they spawn. I just can't think, quite honestly, outside of this guy here, where they actually consistently. So if somebody knows whether it's Bleeding Kate's house will conclude Savage Divide, let me know. Let others know. My guess is it might, even though the border's right there. And then I guess by off chance you might see one in the wild here somewhere. Maybe at top of the world. I forget whether those are blood bugs or stingwings that actually spawn there. So you might actually, it might be, I don't think there's blood bugs, but it might be, yeah, actually. Anyway, those are locations. You've got 10 animals right there that you can take a picture of. I just want to see if there's anything else here that I can point out to you. Cave Cricket, Deathclaw. Let's talk about Deathclaw real quick. So if you happen to be in the location of this area, right in this location, at the bottom in the basement, is a Deathclaw. He's generally a low level-ish 70, I think 70. He's not too hard to take out because he's in a closed space, so he's quite easy to actually kill, even though he's quite a high level, can be a high level. So just at the bottom, yeah, you kind of just go through the doors into the mine. follow the ramp down to the right, or you go through the back door entrance. If you know how to go the back door through the office, then you can actually get to him pretty quick. But that's a location where you can get a Deathclaw. You can, of course, get many Deathclaws right here by the Freak Show. Just there's a crater right over here in the middle. If you've seen my videos, I've talked about this location quite often. There are plenty of Deathclaws in that location as well. And of course, let's not forget where is it? Hopo Cave, which is up here. Hopo Cave has a Deathclaw in as well, so you'll be able to get a Deathclaw there as well, right? Okay, weekly. So I think that pretty much covers it. Red Ant. Same place, Freak Show, the crater. That's where you can get a red ant. They're kind of painful to get them to spawn there, but you might get lucky. If you're in the location, if you're looking for a Deathclaw down there, then you might get a red ant, because actually there is when the Deathclaw and the red ants, they typically spawn together in some cases. So you'll be able to get both of them at the same time. And that's it for this video. So hopefully you found that useful and helpful. If you did, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It does help out the channel a lot. Thanks for watching.